This is a Headgum original.
Thank you, Emma.
Why do I record just when Anya says, why must I be on screen high res? My eyes are dry, why do I try to make quiz? It's always been I make shit that y'all hate. Has me all like I won't pull my weight. Michelle hates me, Casey hates me, so does Masa. It's hard to be me. It's hard to be me. It's not how I sound. It's not that I'm brown. It's just that I'm me. Yet I'm filled with glee. And hoping y'all aren't.
Jesus.
And even are sad that I have had a song without Char. It's hard to be me.
What have you become?
What's that?
Sorry, I can't hear anything. What were you singing?
Yeah, a lot
for
actually.
a minute and a half.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were like texting Anya that we weren't rolling yet or something.
I was singing a lot.
I thought that sounded really good, Geoff.
Really?
Yeah. Your
Maybe
voice
it's not
sounded
that
nice.
hard to be me. That was awesome of Micah to say. Friday. That Friday feeling. How are
What
we
is
all?
that? Is that a Frank Sinatra song? It had to be you or something?
It's like an old standard. I think Harry Connick Jr. might have had it first, and then Frank, added his blue eyes to the bish.
Yeah.
Mm.
It had to be you, right?
It had to be you. It's hard to be me. I don't know which song is more
that's
iconic
really
at this
good.
point in terms of like what would we refer to it as?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It had to be you.
It would be the first. It would be the Connick Sinatra joint for
The
sure.
OG.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Johnny Be Good.
Oh my God!
What fell there?
This entire coffee.
Oh my God, so much of it. That was a pint. It was absolutely
it was huge
a pint.
when he sat down.
Yes. I was going to
Remember?
comment on how it was a pint glass of it.
I said he took a huge
a
swig.
pint
It's so
glass
much
of
coffee.
cold brew.
Oh my
knocked
God.
over.
Yeah,
Which is a lot in a glass, but when it spills, it feels like a lot
And
more.
it's actually devastating to lose that much coffee because he needed that.
You're
I don't know
right.
what time it is in LA. I guess it's noon in
Yeah,
LA. He
yeah.
shouldn't need it.
But
that
he planned to be
much.
sipping that throughout the whole podcast.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And remember when you spilled that like 16-ounce Coke on Ben's rug and it just felt like a lot? Because like
Yeah.
liquid, when it spills out,
It just went
everywhere.
Yeah, I tried
and
for
that was
hours
probably
to,
that much.
to clean that up.
And that's probably that much, right?
Yeah, I mean, and it's
A pint
all
glass.
directly onto the wires.
Cables and the chair
That
and the
is
carpet.
that's a knot of wires, right? That's the nexus of the microphones.
Impossible
that run
to clean wires.
from there under the carpet to
Like,
the
how do you
the
even
station.
begin? What do you even begin? It starts with a lot
Yeah.
of paper towels. Maybe
And I
even
mean,
a
the room
sponge.
is so
Oh, he
is
came
so
back
small.
with nothing.
To clean that,
He came back with nothing.
that is insane.
There's no way
he came back with a new coffee.
He thinks he's
There
just-
aren't paper towels in the office.
So that's it. We give up.
That just needs to be soaked up by
A towel. That's a full
That's
beach
going to be
towel.
soaked up by the rug. The thing is, this room is also so small. So to get back there, you basically need to take the chairs and couch.
It's
out.
forever changed.
We
There's
have
no way you
to-
could do a deep clean right now.
Essentially, to clean this studio, we have to move.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no way we could move all the furniture and then begin to clean the things. It would take as long as the podcast would. Let's see what he's come back with. What is that? Just napkins.
It was
Hard napkins with a design on it.
This whole thing kicked off with him singing a song.
It's hard to be me spilling. Those are the least absorbent. That's basically printer paper.
Don't have paper
They're
towels at the
cocktail
office.
party napkins.
My experience of the last minute and a half was me like scrambling and like swinging open cabinets in the kitchen, being like, there has to be
me.
towels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, coffee
It was a
doesn't
lot,
stain.
Coffee is the number one
Yeah,
stainer.
I mean, luckily it's going to be covered by the
It's wires plus carpet.
the table, so we're fine.
He's just loose. He's not even pressing down like to dab. He's
You're
just laying
half-assing
on
it,
top
for sure.
Laying on top, and it's like decorative napkins, which are like super like non-absorbing, because
Right.
you have to print on them.
Look, man,
Bond of the week, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
You're just posturing like you're cleaning it up. It's not going to do anything.
That's what you would have to put down before you spilled for it
Sure.
to make a difference.
like a tarp. I almost did a
Yes,
tarp,
exactly.
actually.
You're putting basically a wee pad on top of an already spilled area of the rug.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think the
Luke,
biggest
speaking
bummer
of
here is
dogs
that I
and wee-wee
had a
pads,
large
Luke
cold
for
brew that I
Bob.
was excited to enjoy, and then now it's just gone.
That's so sad. Where was it from?
It was it was from La Colombe. The
Don't
guy
we
said,
have that in the
I think
cold brew
La
fridge?
Colombe is actually low key the some of the worst coffee around.
I agree, I don't
It's-
like it, but sometimes
It's
when
too smooth.
yeah,
It's not good.
it needs that bite.
There's nothing. There's no there. When it
Yeah,
comes to La
exactly
Colombe.
right.
But can't you
Um,
fill it up? Isn't our fridge the La Colombe coffee?
I don't trust
Cold
that
brew?
there is coffee there either. There's a lot of office
There wasn't
supplies that
paper
are
towel.
lacking. Because oftentimes we don't have paper
There is.
towels. We don't.
Yeah,
The
there
keg is
coffee
often gone.
there. Yeah, it's there and it has coffee.
Yeah. Well, good start. Good stuff. We should say that. Amir, you're in town for what? New York Comedy Festival or something?
Yeah, we have a Headgum show on Monday.
Yeah. So it's a lot of y'all in the studio and me in the LA studio solo dolo.
Yeah.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
one to
Yeah.
ask, hey, are there paper towels? So
Nobody knew that you'd be spilling an entire coffee today, so maybe the paper towels are on.
I
the
don't
way.
know if it's just like the universe trying to balance me out because I was riding that high of how well received the song was and will be.
I
once
think
it
only
comes out.
Micah gave you a compliment on it.
Yeah, but Micah accounts for a lot of what. Honestly, we'll get to how Micah accounts for how life can be good or bad.
Oh,
Micah is a bellwether,
It's called
That's a
a
foreshadowing.
vibe.
that's
Actually,
a weird
I don't
tease.
mind Micah doing a show at the Bell House called Micah is a Bellwether.
That's
I
interesting.
don't think that's
Did
gonna
you say
happen.
we're doing a show at the Bell House? We're doing a show at Caveat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Micah, are those the Clark's Wallabies?
Yeah, they are.
I just copped a pair of the maple suede, man.
Did you get the high top or the low?
I got the low.
The low's nice.
Yeah, the
I think
high
more-
is
a little bit more wearable.
a little too square for me in terms of business attire and also the way it's shaped.
Yep.
So.
Don't get giddy when you talk to my brother.
Be neutral or bad of it. What's the energy over there? Usually when people are either on the Zoom with me or in the room with me, I can tell sort of a temperature.
3:30 p.m. on a Friday afternoon vibe.
So
Eager to leave and tired to be.
Seeger to Carl. Fuck you guys. That was good. The hard to be
Seeger
me,
to
the
Carl?
spilling the coffee bit.
And all of it culminating with Seeger to Carl.
I'm happy we got it on video. I'd like to see how much fell and what it looked like.
Yeah, I don't know if the camera picked up on the floor because there's not a producer here.
But just the shot of you with a glass next to you.
ultimately that we can
It'll be
kind
in the
of.
wide.
Does
It'll
it
play.
does it smell strongly of coffee?
Oh, it reeks of beans.
Yeah, it's
Do you have a wide shot in addition?
I
to
do
the
have a
close or
wide
just the
shot.
close?
I have all
Okay,
three
so we have
angles
it.
going, and I know
We
my
have it.
angles.
We have it. We have it on camera for sure.
Great.
I kind of did want to talk about the lyrics though. There, I do believe those things. It is
That it's hard to be you.
it's hard to be me. You know, it's like
Everyone hates you. Yeah.
well, not
I
everybody.
would say in
specifically
human
Michelle,
history,
Casey,
you're at
and
the
Massa.
top 1% of people to be.
Really?
Everything was billions and billions of people have it worse than you.
Yeah.
You were
it's like-
born on third base for sure,
100%.
if not already on home.
Right.
So it's not hard to be you.
Well, it's hard in terms of like the day to day. Maybe not like where I
Yeah.
started or where I am.
Historically, never been easier to be anybody but you.
It's hard too because it's like, well, because you go to like, yeah, you get,
So you're not listening
What-
to me.
no, it's hard because
It's
you get
harder for everyone, nearly everyone else in human history but you.
right, but it's like
It's actually
so
harder to be Casey because you make it harder on Casey.
no, and I get that. I just what I'm saying is that
Harder to be Anya.
the first
because
thing is
she
like
has to
why
deal
do
with you.
I have to record when Anya says I have to? You know what I mean? Like, yes, incredible education opportunities that I was afforded, and like
Yeah.
an
You're
incredible family
25
background.
and you live in Silver Lake.
Exactly right, and like I never really had like a real job after high school. I like
Yes.
Right.
Exactly. You haven't had to work hard and you live incredibly comfortably.
Me and Amir king made you. Can you
Sure.
believe that?
No, of course.
We king made you.
thrown
basically
me.
dubbed you by accident.
You said watch this space / the throne, and then sat me on it. And then it's been, 4 years of regret?
More.
The issue was the mic. I was fine before I had a show.
Yeah, that's true.
You didn't have a platform.
Right. I had platform heels that I swapped out for Clark's Wallabies / this show.
Maple, yeah.
I heard Emma barely chuckle right there.
Yeah, Emma's here, but she's been with us for all recording sessions today. So
How
as
many were there? All
exasperated
segments?
and
Was it
tired
all
we
segments?
are.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I-
segments.
Yeah.
You know.
How did the reception of the first episode go? Do you guys want to talk about that for a bit?
Yeah, I think it's mostly positive. I've seen some good comments on YouTube and Twitter and stuff.
Sure.
What about listenership? Is it bigger than
Thank you,
if I were
Micah.
you?
Yeah, what about listenership?
I think on average, this one is bigger because it's like the first one back. I'd be interested to see where we average out in the long run. But
Right.
for now, yeah, higher.
Are you worried
In
that
what-
it's going to be like just cliff dive next week? 80,000
No.
impressions to what, 4?
Right. That I wouldn't be worried about that.
Okay.
To 4?
No. Yeah. I don't think. Yeah. I think more than
4,000, not
4.
4.
Right. I guess I'm still not worried about that.
Okay. No, for
Yeah.
sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Spills
What-
again.
What what about reception to the quality of content in terms of the segments?
I
Yeah.
feel like that was covered in general
Asked and
reception.
answered.
You said, how are people receiving the show? We said people like it.
What is
And now
this?
you're drilling down on the detail, how the quality of the segment. Nobody weighed in on that specific, I guess.
And they definitely didn't weigh on specifically not that either. Because
Sure.
other than that, there's not much to comment on.
Okay, guys, I'm not your enemy here, right? Like, I'm trying to promote your ass. I'm trying to promote your show. I'm trying to shed light on it and also, kind of interview you about it in a way. It's a press junket, almost. And you guys are
Okay.
coming at me like you're expecting the other shoe to drop.
Yeah. No, so far you asked, I think, the same question twice,
Sure.
but I didn't mean to jump down your throat. You can ask more questions about it and we're happy to.
Okay, so like,
Chat
in
segments.
terms of like, I don't know, like
Yeah, exactly.
the
I feel like you didn't
thickness
think.
of
Uh-huh.
the density of laughs per
Mhm.
minute. Where do you think
Yeah.
you landed in that? Because
In
there
ter-
was the
like-
RAV4 bit, but I don't know much.
You're
else.
asking us how many laughs per minute we think
Yeah,
there
it's like
are
laughs
in the
per
show.
page. You know what I mean? Like jokes per page. Like it's a numbers game ultimately of if somebody chooses to tune in week after week. I mean, don't get me started.
We don't track that, but we thought people like
No, I'm not saying, guys, I'm not saying like statistically like tracking data. I mean, your impression of how it went, right?
It was joke dense. It was joke dense. Let's not
All right.
argue.
That was
was
all I was asking.
Full of jokes, and we
Yeah.
had a good time, and it was received well.
I
And
love that.
think we could-
I love
I
to
think we
hear
can
that.
move
That
on.
really does bring me joy. Micah, I feel like I haven't talked to you in a minute.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Has it felt like a respite to you, or have you missed me, or?
No, I missed you.
It's hard to be me.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
What's the worst thing going on in your life right now?
We're gonna play padel.
Sure.
Have you played?
No, is that like Roger
It's like
Goodell?
paddle tennis,
Oh, nice.
but it's called padel. It's a different sport,
Okay.
slightly.
Who's we?
Padel.
Everybody in the office?
The three of us plus Joel.
Mm.
The worst thing that happened to me is Jake backed out of the second hour of padel because he's feeling sore from a couple of
A flu and
vaccines.
I have a flu and I got a flu and COVID vaccine yesterday, so my body's feeling sore. So I didn't feel like I could play 2 hours of padel.
I get that.
After Micah unilaterally made the decision yesterday to book us for 2 hours instead of 1.
Guys, save it for the courts. I mean, this is perfect backstory.
You and Micah are playing on the same team.
You hit each other with a racket.
So the hardest thing is that Jake can't. That's a pretty good. You're in a pretty good spot. Would you say you're very joyful this year?
Yeah, things are good.
What about the dog sitting? That's
Oh yeah, I'm dog sitting, and I'm dog sitting a puppy that has her period, and she's been bleeding all over my apartment.
She's shedding. Is that what you said?
No, she's bleeding.
Oh, well, she's shedding She's shedding her coat and also her uterine lining.
I guess. I don't
Emma?
know. Is that what I don't.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's right, Geoff. Good job.
Even
No,
for
I was
dogs?
like seeing if you were laughing.
I assume it's the same. Geoff, I've been Mike this whole time. You will know if I'm laughing.
This sucks.
And it's really sensitive. It picks everything up.
How many minutes has it been?
like
Since she
the
stopped
worst
bleeding.
thing you can ask as the host of a podcast.
Minutes.
I'm just wondering if it's time for the first segment or if we should still just be
I
waxing.
think it is time. I think it's time.
It's time. I think it is
Yeah.
time. Perfect episode to dive into that ye old hearkened debate of New York versus LA. Because I'm in love.
right.
What's that?
I said all right. I was encouraging you to move forward.
Sort of
Didn't wanna
ganging up
stop
on
us
me
dead.
so far. People in New York kind of coming at me. I don't know if it's because I'm in LA or
Or because you trashed the office while we weren't there.
What are you going to do with those napkins? You think you'll keep them there on the floor or soak them in?
they've been soaking. You can't really
There's
tell.
no way. They look bone dry. You didn't even step on them to like sort of, you know, when you spill something on a carpet and you
Step
sort
on.
of
You
press
don't have
down
to
into
step
it.
on it. You're supposed to dab, not rub.
So but you haven't
I
done
dabbed.
either.
I didn't rub. I didn't. Guys,
Yeah.
let's get into the debate. All right.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
New York versus LA. Y'all are in New York. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. You said let's get into the debate, so let's get into the debate.
Also,
you're still clarifying.
Is there
where we
anything
are.
new or is it just an open concept? We'll talk about the things people always say
It's
about
an
New York
open
versus LA.
dialogue, but there are pinpointed fucking debate points here.
Go
Number
ahead.
one is
You
traffic.
prefer New York.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. But I'm going to play devil's advocate because it's a debate.
So,
Traffic.
and it's worse where?
That's what we have to figure out. I'm going to say LA because there's not really public transport. There is, but it's not ideal. And even if you take the bus, you're in the traffic. If you're in New York, yeah, there's traffic, but who's driving, Micah? Nobody. If you're not in the UN, you're not in a car. The worst.
Do you want to have a debate or do you want to just yell at us?
The worst I've seen or experienced has been the L stopping at 3:30 in the morning for maintenance, and then I have to go upstairs to the street level and take a lift back to AJ and Johnny's house.
Yeah, which isn't bad because at that point there's no traffic.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. And I'm already in Williamsburg, and I only have to get out to Ridgewood.
Right.
Seems like the hardest is getting to the airport.
Seems like
Like
the
if you have a
hardest.
4 p.m. flight.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
being you. Is that what you're going to say?
Well, I was gonna say yeah.
It's hard to be me.
Yeah, but that's not related to the city, so that's why I stopped myself, sort of self-edited.
Nice.
Micah, traffic?
Yeah, I think There's a lot of car traffic.
Sure,
There's a lot of car traffic in New York,
definitely.
but I think it's justified because the city is so dense.
Yeah.
In LA, it seems more like there's traffic because the city's so poorly organized.
Thank you.
You know?
Thank you for saying that.
Is that fair?
That is fair. And that way I didn't have to say it because I'm so worried in this segment that Amir's going to fucking blow up at me because I know he loves LA because he grew up in LA, born and raised.
I mean, I understand that traffic is hard. Yeah. I'm not mad at you saying that.
Okay. Moving on to quality of gash / ash.
That's an interesting
What were the
point.
2 words?
Gash / ash. Gash / ash.
It's weird that you ever messed up because it's
You
always an
messed up more.
SH. Yeah.
When he asked you what the words were, you messed up several additional times.
And it's never the S. It's always SH.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't trip you up.
Can anyone else say it?
Gla.
Ooh,
Oh!
I still don't know what the word is.
Not
It's
so easy,
gash
is it, Blumenfeld?
/ ash. No, ass or ash?
Ass.
Gash?
I thought he was saying
So I
gla.
meant, like which
Jesus Christ, that was so loud.
which city has better quality sexual partners?
Exactly. Who's hotter, New York or LA?
But are you saying / ass or ash?
ass, but it's spelled ash.
Got it.
Are
It
we
sounded like you were
factoring
saying
in
SH.
personality?
Yeah.
I think New York wins.
New York for sure.
Yeah.
That seemed like an insult towards New York because you had to specify personality, though.
Well, I mean, it's a toss-up. If it's just looks.
I think if it's
I
just
think
looks,
New York is
also
on
New
balance
York.
hotter. Yeah, New Yorkers are hotter. I think they're hotter.
And I don't
think
know if
they're-
it's just that you're on the subway and you're seeing everybody that's attractive, or if you're versus in LA, you're just seeing you in your rear view mirror, or what. But I do think that I'm like in New York and I'm always like, oh wow, everybody's hot. And then in LA,
Yeah.
I'm like, everybody's trying to be hot, but they're actually not.
Interesting. I feel like when I went to that bar with you, there was a lot of hot people there.
Which bar?
The Zebulon.
Yeah.
Do we have to bleep
Zebulon
that out?
people
Do you,
show out, but it still is so, there's an air of desperation.
Mm-hmm.
New York-
I mean, that's very LA in general.
For sure.
It's a desperate city. It's
For
a
sure.
desperate city.
That's why I've calmed into what I am today, which is sort of like a Zen
Mhm.
version of myself, where it's like I could take or leave anything. Like ask me if
Really?
I care about something,
It seems like you hold a grudge. You named 3 or 4 people that hate you in your song up top.
and that's 3 of many
Yeah.
that I
But
could
it
have
seems like
named at
things
the
affect
company.
you.
Chambers hasn't returned any of my calls.
Ryan
Ryan?
Chambers, our head of sales.
Yeah,
I can't believe you have his number.
Angie moved to Ventura because of me. How fucked up is that?
That's really messed up. That's so far away.
Moving on to affordability,
Hmm.
LA, I think.
I don't know, they're both very expensive, seeming.
Yeah.
Especially since COVID.
The day-to-day expenses, though, when I lived in New York, were far exceeded the day-to-day expenses of LA. Also,
Like
rent
what?
is like $400 cheaper for what you get, I think, in New York.
Yeah, I think rent's more expensive in New York.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I meant to say. Of
Yeah. Okay.
Have you looked at like 1-bedroom apartments in New York?
course.
Jeff?
There's a perfect
what are we
one
looking at?
on Manhattan Ave, Greenpoint, Prime Greenpoint.
Had to be $3,500 a month.
$2,400 a month, but that's a studio.
Oh.
It's like the equivalent of what
studio.
I have
Bad.
here
Yeah.
for $800 more per month.
Yeah. If you want a 1-bedroom, I don't think you can find one in Williamsburg Greenpoint under 3.
That's crazy.
I live in a 1-bedroom in the East Village for 22.
Wow.
Yeah, but
And Manhattan is like cheaper than Brooklyn
Yeah.
right now.
I guess maybe that's why.
Yeah.
There you go.
which city has better century eggs?
What's
What is
that?
a century egg?
Century egg is like a fermented duck egg in Hunan cuisine.
Probably New York.
I think New York, because I haven't found good Chinese food in LA.
Yeah.
Well, it's in like the San Gabriel Valley. Do you include that as LA?
Yeah, I just haven't made it out there
shouldn't.
yet.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can. You can't include like something in Los Angeles County
Exactly
as
right.
LA.
Like, does New York have good grass? No. But what if you count the Hudson Valley? That's cheating, Amir.
Or kind of like Brooklyn in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
'Cause it's
Prospect.
part of.
for
Yeah.
sure. Emma, have you had a century egg?
I don't know what that means.
Okay,
Right.
moving on to climate. got to be New York, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's New
seasons?
York. I enjoy the seasons. Though I will say it's getting cold right now and I'm not happy about
You're
it.
pissed, yeah.
I'm cold over it.
Yes.
I'm chilly. And it has been a rougher transition this year than years previous.
100%. You're cold open of it
Nice.
because it's, the beginning of winter.
Yeah, but climate is actually LA is on fire half the year.
Yeah.
You're dealing with mudslides, earthquakes, drought, then also flooding.
Impending
so I think,
doom at literally any second. Statistically,
waiting for the big
scientifically,
one to hit.
we should die any minute now.
Yeah. You're 100 years past due for your catastrophic earthquake.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say LA is worse climate-wise.
Yeah. And getting worse. It will be getting worse. New York
Yeah.
will be getting kind of, maybe not better, but it'll be different problems.
Soho will be Miami by the time my daughter's in college.
It'll be so heat.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
Micah, climate?
Yeah. I think New York is like immune to whatever the climate is doing. If
Yeah.
it's snowing, if it's raining, if it's sunny, if it's cloudy, it doesn't matter. New York is awesome.
Yep. For sure. What about ease of retreat?
How many do you have, by the way?
This is
Ease
one
of
of
retreat.
many.
It has to be New York because there's a lot of there's a lot of different exit points from the city. And LA, we already talked about the traffic. You know, I was trying to get to Palm Springs on a Friday night and it took me almost 2.5, 3 hours.
I'm
Drive
going to
150
Oakland tomorrow to go
miles.
apple picking. It's going to take me a whole ass day.
Oakland?
Oakland,
To go
Glen.
apple picking? Oh, Oak Glen. Got it.
Beyond Bonnie Banks and beyond
My
Oak
own
Glen.
body breathes. I see.
Infrastructure. Let's talk about it.
Meaning?
Equal, I think. They're both pretty bad.
Yeah, you don't really know because you don't know what
Yeah.
that word means, really.
Well,
What
the
do you mean
bridges
by
are fine. The
infrastructure?
bridges are okay.
Uh-huh.
Public transport, though.
All right, New
Mhm.
York. We're going to have to go New York. City works, city
Yeah.
parks. Right?
Have you had a century egg?
I've never tried the century egg. I've never really had because I'm always just like,
Mhm.
I'd rather have the General Tso's.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe ask them to overcook some fried rice.
Yeah. Char.
Piece of rind.
What is that?
It means how easy can you get fruit on the street? LA takes the cake for sure.
I don't know. I think New York actually does. I passed several fruit stands on my way home from work.
Really?
LA, the only
Really?
fruit stands you can get, you're driving. You have to like kind of pull over.
Yeah.
But there's the one on Benton near the 101. I can't think of another one.
I called the city on that
the
one,
fruit stand
actually. I
in
shut them
Malibu.
down.
Yeah. Right. That's sucks of you.
Yeah. Tax rates.
My own bonnet.
LA's better.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Seems like that was the first one that was quantifiable. Everything else so far has been incredibly
That's why it's a
subjective.
debate. That's why
So
it's
why
a
have
debate.
why have the taxes one?
If Marika brought this segment in, you guys would be like, yeah, let's really get into it. That's really interesting,
Yeah.
Marika.
If
Instead,
it is a debate, you've agreed with everything that we said.
because I don't
You
like
said you were
conflict.
going to play devil's advocate.
I'm conflict
You
averse.
said
You're
you
playing Angel's best friend.
I already sang a verse, so I'm conflict of it.
That's the commercial point right there.
We will be right back, but we're not going to leave this segment. We've got a lot more points to get to.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Guys, you ever feel a little off about the end of your season, right? Do you ever not look forward to the holidays? Maybe you struggle with seasonal blues? Maybe the sun's setting at 5:55 each day and only getting darker from here until December 21st or 22nd, I can't remember which. Maybe makes you sad, whether that's seasonal affective disorder or just the emotion. Well, either way, in any case, this time of year can be a lot, and it's natural to feel some sadness or anxiety about it. But adding something new and positive to your life can counteract some of those feelings. And therapy can be that bright spot amid all the stress and change. Something to look forward to make you feel grounded and to give you the tools to manage everything going on, right? I've actually upped my therapy to twice a week, fortunately. Because of the darker times, both outside, my window, and also inside my mind's eye. And I'm benefiting from it. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Find your bright spot this season with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/what's that today to get 10% off your first month. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/what's that. Thanks, BetterHelp. Are you a millennial who misses what life was like in the 2000s? Have you had a hard time finding new or curated music? Are you interested in multiple perspectives on relationships, dating, and music? Then you're going to love See the Thing Is, a podcast hosted by Grammy Award-winning R&B artist Bridget Kelly and media personality and podcast trailblazer Mandy B. Twice a week, Bridget and Mandy have nostalgic conversations in their grown segments, political pop culture conversations in their honest segments, and relationship hot take conversations in the slightly toxic segment. The opinions on the show are real and brought to you by the genuine connections the ladies have with their guests, who they like to call their friends with benefits. Each week, you'll leave with some new music recommendations or a curated playlist that you didn't even know you needed in their freshly squeezed music segment. Most recently, the ladies have sat down with Mooney Long, Chloe Bailey, and DeRay McKesson, so be sure to check out those most recent episodes with those killer guests. Follow and subscribe to See the Thing Is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or on YouTube. New audio episodes drop every Tuesday and Friday, and visuals are available on YouTube Wednesdays and Saturdays. Check it out.
And we're back. Let's talk about sand or not.
You suck, man. You made me deaf. And then the first thing I hear back, sand or not.
How do we debate that?
Are there beaches or not?
There's beaches in both places.
Better beaches in LA.
Yeah, according to the Better Beaches Bureau.
But
I
they're
agree.
hard to get to.
I think, here's the thing. I do really want to move to New York. I don't think I should yet. We've talked about
What
this
are you
a lot.
waiting for?
Why yet?
Yeah.
I want to make a ton of money doing what I love in my career. And then I'll move
Okay,
to New
so
York.
you'll never
Move to
in
New
New
York.
York.
Okay.
Yeah.
New York is better when you're dirt poor because you don't mind all the inconveniences and
Yeah. But what about the conveniences of the penthouse?
you have to be so rich to be rich in New York.
How rich do you have to? How much money do you think you have to have? $1 million?
Probably like $5 million.
You think you have to
not
have
true.
$5 million?
You can't have fun in New York without $5 million.
No, I'm saying you could be really
liquid.
poor and have a lot of fun, but if you want to be rich and like live like a baller lifestyle and like have a cool house and a car and like, eat wherever you want, it's a lot more expensive here.
I feel like Micah
Interesting.
lives the perfect life in New York, though, and he doesn't have $5 million.
No.
Micah?
I don't. Well, didn't you say like to ball out? I
You
don't
said
ball out.
you said you wanted to be rich.
Yeah, I'm not rich.
Okay,
you,
so
you have what, like $3.5 or $4 million?
That's a lot. That's a
Work-
lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's
That's
close.
good.
He can't ball out. He has to
cannot
be
ball
a little
out. Not on
frugal.
3.5, but
Yeah.
all right, well, yeah, let me make $5 million and then I'll move to New York.
I think you can do it. You shouldn't tie it to any kind of benchmark.
Right.
Because then you'll keep on moving the goalposts. You got to just move out here.
It should be in your 20s, I would think.
Yeah.
The younger, the better.
Yeah, really?
And now you have a significant
Yeah.
other. It's actually cheaper than ever to move here. You couldn't have done it when you were single because you'd have to spend $3,000 to live in a studio. But now you can split that with a loved one or a lover.
I thought you were gonna say because he would be just pouring money out trying to get a date.
Yeah.
That
now,
too.
Now it's cheaper to do that.
See, like, what are those kinds of quips? Like, no one would ever say that to Micah. But then, like, Emma, like,
He lives
comes
in New
at
York
me and I
already.
can't even see her on the camera.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They all want you to move out here.
Half-assed, sorry. Sand or not. I brought that up, though, to be like, the one time that I'm in LA and I'm like, there's no place like this in the world, is when I'm, like, at the beach.
Yeah.
There's no else in the world with beaches.
Well, no, he's right. There are places with beaches, but where you can have your job career be on your
Tablet.
yeah. Excuse me. I'm trying to defend you, man. I'm just like,
Oh, yeah, I guess
if
you
you're
could live
trying
in
to be a
San
writer
Diego
actor,
or
right?
Miami
No,
or
writer actor. He's living in the best possible place for him career wise, and also enjoying nature
sun,
in that way.
Sand.
Yeah.
Sand being
Yeah.
just tiny rocks, I think. Is that correct, Micah?
She's not here.
Iconic
having a stroke.
landmarks
Or not.
or not.
It's got to be New York.
New York.
I mean, we work right around the corner from Teddy Roosevelt's birthplace.
Yeah.
Literally, Teddy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in LA, you could just find where a fucking XXX movie salon that Richard Nixon got caught cranking it.
Yeah. Dude, there's still the afterbirth at the Teddy Roosevelt house on the floor.
They refused to clean it up.
Yeah.
I
The
find the
president, after all.
iconic landmarks in LA to be just very strange. Like the Hollywood sign was just like it was like a makeshift billboard for like a gated community. And then
Yeah.
like I guess the Griffith Observatory is cool. But
The
then
James
like
Dean statue.
yeah, why? And then like
Oh.
the lamppost art thing at LACMA is fine. And
Yeah.
the Playboy Mansion is like a house that was built to look 100 years older than it actually is. Meanwhile, in like Rye and Bedford, New York, every single house next to each other is bigger and better than the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah. There's more history out here.
Exactly
for sure.
right.
It's an
Oil-
older city.
There's never been an oil baron to live in Los Angeles.
I wonder if that's true.
This stuff isn't uninteresting if you engage. Let's just move on to appreciating value. Appreciating value. That one's a
Sorry?
double entendre / edged sword. Basically,
Yeah.
the city are the property values appreciating, and then also
Mhm.
is the city's value appreciating in the eyes of the younger generations in terms of cool and cash.
Yeah. New York is a global brand.
Yeah.
LA is kind of a hack city piece of shit, second rate wannabe, nothing town.
It wishes it
is-
was Italianate, but what it ends up being is just Nate.
Yeah.
What's Italianate?
It's like of Italian, like sphere. it's like
He's not wrong.
of Italian.
It's of Italy.
Italianate? Isn't it just Italian?
Italian. It's like architecture. It's like
You're starting to
architecture.
infect Jake.
Italianate definition: conforming to the Italian type or style or custom and manners.
Nice.
Nice. Century egg on Amir's face.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Iconic bag stores.
I think that's got to be equal.
Yeah. No, I think it's New York. Soho is a mall. Beverly Hills is just a
Yeah,
mall.
but so is
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you
so
get
it's
the
rare.
best. You can go to Chinatown and get like the best knockoffs on the street.
Yeah.
I think New York.
You go to Chinatown
Yeah.
in LA.
But if we're not talking knockoffs, if we're talking about the best actual bags,
okay.
if we're talking about LVMH,
Sure.
if we're talking about
Biggest
Gucci,
luxury
Prada,
conglomerate in the world.
Coach, Hermes, then I feel like you're talking about Rodeo Drive just as much as you're talking about Fifth Avenue, just as much as you're talking about Soho, just as much as you're talking about Pasadena for that matter. I think they're on equal footing.
Rodeo Drive is like 100 yards long. Fifth Avenue is like 4 miles.
I can't say
I'm
that I
pleading with
agree.
To change your mind.
I think they're equal.
Wow. All right. Let's end it on rind or sand.
What is that? One mean?
Let's end this the way everyone wants.
Like
We're going
fruit
rind or
versus beach.
sand.
We're moving on to a segment that I like to call Micah Credit Score.
I can't hear anything you're saying.
You can't talk during the sound effects because it
It's
drowns
so
you out.
loud.
Y'all have heard of the FICO credit score?
Uh-huh.
This is the Micah credit score.
Why
Okay.
did it have that intro?
It was just the first song button that I saw.
Got it.
NFL on Fox. Yeah.
So
How do you play it?
How do you play it? Basically, we're gonna go down. And Micah, I want you. You're kind of at the helm here. It's almost a Micah takes the reins, but I will be guiding your ass. You're gonna give each and every one of us on the Zoom or in the room a Micah credit score based on these line items. So let's start with Amir, and let's start with what this is broken down into what most conventional credit scores are based on, but this is going to be for basically our personalities / us as people holistically, right? So let's start with Amir. 35% of most credit scoring apps use payment history as, sort of a barometer. The Micah credit score is going to be based on payment listerine.
Payment what?
And the episode ends right there. Payment listerine. Basically, how fresh do they keep not only their breath, but also their perspectives, their clothes, their house, their digs, etc., Tay or otherwise.
Okay, and he's answering about Amir?
This is just for Amir for now.
How fresh do I keep my digs is the question. We're trying to sort of sift through the shit to find a little kernel of question that Micah can actually answer.
Exactly right.
Is
That's a question
it
to
to
you.
me?
Yeah, it's
What's
up
the
to you.
question? That's
How fresh does Amir keep his digs?
and I have to give him a score?
Out of 35. Think about it. Truly, this is like, I know it sounds
yeah, I
crazy,
think-
but you can really do this.
Yeah, it does sound crazy.
Yes, it does, but that's for the
I
comedic
think it's
effect.
interesting. I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
We're trying to just see if how fresh you keep
But he
your
hasn't seen
stuff,
my
your
house.
house.
Have you not
But
seen Amir's
it's the
house?
vibe you-
He
it's
has
the-
never been in the house.
It's the vibe you put off.
Yeah.
Let's just
28.
28. Okay.
Amir had the same backpack for 15 years.
Well, what does fresh mean? Does fresh mean like stylish or does it mean clean?
That's
Fresh
where you're
Prince
at
of
the
Bel-Air-
helm.
Bel-Air or
Yeah.
like
That's-
fresh fruit.
That's where Mike is
I
at
think
the
he's
helm,
pretty
and it's up
neat
to
and
your.
tidy.
You think he's neat?
Relatively.
Well, this is the Micah credit
This is
score,
the
you
Micah
know? We
credit
can't-
score. It's not the Amirion, all right? It's not the Experion, the Amirion, right? This is the Micah
Yeah.
credit score. So like,
All right.
28's not that
I'm trying to influence it, and I should stop.
no, you have that
I think
familial
Amir's a
banking
14,
history.
but let's.
That's
Micah
the
said-
Jacob credit score.
That's
yeah.
Micah said 29, 28. All right,
28.
fine.
All right. Moving
4
on
out of
to
5.
amounts owed. Now, basically, this is going to be like, did you guys see that speech that Obama gave like 8 years ago where he was like, if you have a business, you didn't build that. And then like the Republicans got all upset because it goes against this like pull yourself up by your bootstraps mentality.
Yeah,
It's the
vaguely.
same idea here where it's not what are your debts in terms of cash. It's how much do you owe to your upbringing, to your circumstance, to the people that helped you along the way. So what's your impression there in terms of Amir's debts owed to others?
Is there a number or a scale
30.
for
This is out of 30.
Nonsense question.
20.
Amir, would you agree with that?
I don't even know what you're asking.
I'm asking how much do you owe your success and joy to others versus just
Oh.
all your own ingenious behavior?
I would owe a 30 out of 30 to others.
Okay. But Mike
I did very
already
little.
graded you at 20, so let's move on.
Okay. I guess lower is better because it means like you did it yourself.
Yeah.
But
No, because it means you lack community.
not really.
I think 20 is a really nice, good score. It means you have a great support system and you did a little bit yourself. I think that's a really, which is interesting because now that lowers the score overall.
Lowers the
but
credit
it's
score,
like
yeah.
in essence, that being probably the best number to give and get.
Because it's
That
balanced.
should get you a 30.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
but-
we do have to move on to, so a lot of these credit scores use credit history length. This is going to be phallic length.
And are we doing this for all of us or just Amir?
I was ideally going to do this for everyone, but if we only get to Amir, I won't be mad at that.
All right.
Yeah, it seems like you want to do a dick measuring contest of one.
Phallic length out of 15, Micah.
Jesus, 15.
Not inches, just like score.
Yeah.
Oh.
Scale.
Let's say, yeah.
I think like a 9.
9 is
Bigger than average.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Credit mix. This is often 10% of credit scores. This is going to be, are you mixed?
Like, will I eat at Mixed, the salad place near the office?
Like, is your ethnicity all one or
Mm.
not?
This is to me again.
And he's guessing what?
This
out
is
of,
Micah ascertaining and deciding of Amir's ethnic background.
Out of what number?
That's going to be out of 10.
10.
5.
So he is, are you saying he is mixed or he's not?
Mixed of things.
All right, 5. That one I disagree with.
23andMe says I'm 100% Ashkenazi Jew.
So that wasn't even an accurate assessment on Micah's part. Why are we doing this?
Yeah. That's a great question, is why we're doing this, but the other stuff was also pretty random, it seemed.
New credit, right? This is often also 10% of a credit score. And I think this usually docks something. But this question is more like, how often does Amir strive for new? Is he adventurous? Does he go out of his comfort zone or not? Is he...
This is out of what number? 10?
10? This is going to be out of 10. Micah?
10 is being the most adventurous.
Absolutely it is.
Like a 2.
That's pretty accurate, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Missed payments. Missed texts.
How often does Amir miss his parents?
On a scale of 1 to 9.
How homesick does Amir get? Missed payments, missed texts. How often does he miss/long for others, etc. This is out of whatever you decide. So this is all bonus. This is all gravy.
This could be a million.
So if it's 0, he never longs or never misses.
Exactly right. So you can. This is truly gravy.
0.
Okay, not getting any points there. Too many inquiries. Meaning, how many hard credit asks has hit your social security number / tax ID? Basically,
There's no social equivalent to this one, so let's just have Micah
there
guess.
absolutely is, and it's
Actually,
that.
pull up your Credit Karma score. Let's get the real number here.
You mean
This is
credit
out of 800,
Jarma?
so we're not even close, right?
There's 2 more. This is too many inquiries.
Okay.
What I've gleaned from my social interactions with humans my entire life, people don't like when you ask them questions about themselves. Or at the very least, there's like a threshold where you ask too many, right? And then people
Yeah,
start
it
to get
feels
a little...
invasive.
What's that?
It feels invasive.
Yeah, I don't know. So too many inquiries.
The last time that we were at dinner, remember, Geoff, and it wasn't a work dinner per se, but it was
Okay.
everyone that we worked with.
Well, it
And
was.
you
I thought
won-
it was a work dinner at per se.
Okay.
Nice.
In during which you asked everyone to say their favorite thing about themselves, both like personality trait and physically. Which I thought was a weird line of inquiry to your coworker.
Well, clearly you've committed it to memory and are holding it against me in some way. I didn't remember saying that. We were at Mazel, by the way. Tav. I didn't. Yeah, nobody answered it, so I don't know why anyone's upset. I can say it. What's my favorite thing about
They're
myself?
upset because they didn't answer.
Well,
Because
you said your
made
ass and you pulled out a photo of your ass.
Really?
Yes.
That's physical,
But that's
though.
no problem.
Dad ass.
Dad
Yeah,
ass,
that is
as in
physical.
he's let it go.
Dead ass.
Let it
Dad
go.
ass.
Let ass go. Don't do that many squats. Micah. Does Amir ask too many questions of others?
What is the scale for this?
I'm just doing 0. Outstanding debt. What more does he have?
To give.
Yes.
10.
Got it. All right. So, calculating this, so out of the possible points, percentage points of 35,
Whatever number you say is
30.
meaningless.
15, 10, and 10 out of 100. This score is going to be out of 100. 28
So it's not
plus
even
20,
fucking parallel
plus 10,
to a
plus 5,
credit card
plus 2,
score.
plus 10. It is 74%. So we're going to do 0.74 times, what is it, 800?
850, depending.
Amir, buddy.
That I'm not affected by that because it's been gibberish until now.
Your Micah credit score is...
Drum roll queef.
Drum roll quiz. $629. Buddy, you're not getting
He
the
said 29.
FHA loan. You're not getting Fannie Mae or nor Freddie Mac.
Can't hear you.
You're
Jeff,
not
we can't hear
getting
you.
a personal
When you
HELOC for
talk
home
when there's a
renovations.
song,
You're
we can't
not
hear
getting
anything.
anything. No one
Can't
thinks
hear
that you
you.
can finance via
Six
Klarna
what?
or not. You're not going to be able to finance the Jordans.
Can't
You're not
hear
going to be
you.
able
I know
to
you
put
can hear
things
us.
on
You gotta turn the music
layaway.
off.
You're going to be on food stamps.
What'd you say? 6 what?
I said your Micah credit score is 629.
So you did it out of 800, not 850.
No, I did it out of 850. I did points.
Some of them are out of 800. Some of them are out of
75% of 850?
Yep. And I said, you're not going to be able to finance. You're not going to be able to refinance. You're not going to be able to get the lower interest rate like 2021 January style. You're not going to be able to do the Klarna when you're trying to buy some kind of ring or Cuban link, designer mink. You can't finance jack because people don't think that you can pay for it in earnest or kind.
Okay.
Or maybe not
people or
people, but at the
Micah?
very least, Micah.
Yeah.
Maybe not people is right.
That seems like it's about enough. Plugs. What do you guys have going on? What do you want to point the people towards? Let's start with Emma, then go Micah, and then we'll end things with Jake and Amir as a duo.
Wow.
I have no plugs. You can follow me on Instagram at Emma Rose Foley.
You asshole.
Sorry. Micah?
Micah, go ahead.
I have no plugs. Don't follow me. Don't at me. Don't talk to me. Don't find me anywhere. I'm just happy to be here. Thanks, Geoff.
That was easy.
Amir?
I'm on Instagram. I don't know how else to say it. I'm fucking happy to be on the gram. It's at Amir. We have a new podcast segments. You got to watch it. Subscribe to the channel that it's on YouTube. It's like Jake and Amir podcast or something. So find it on Instagram.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Jake?
Is that Casey?
That's Casey.
I will be. When is this episode coming out?
This is coming out
December
November
9th.
24th.
November 24th.
Thanksgiving Day.
Yep.
Then,
You're really burying this one.
then I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. You'll have missed me in New Orleans, Orlando, and Fort Lauderdale. So don't bother buying tickets. Those shows already happened.
Slaughterdale.
Yeah.
At Jeffrey James on Instagram. Watch this space. I don't know what else to say. There's some exciting stuff coming down the pipeline for the show.
No, there's not.
We don't have the budget. We don't have the budget.
Yeah.
I tried
we
to
don't,
make
'cause
some
we have to
shit
buy a new
happen this
carpet.
weekend. I tried to make something happen literally tomorrow when we're recording, and it didn't.
What are you trying to make happen?
I tried to do a live show at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, we don't have the budget for that.
Really?
There should be a live show. I don't know why that you guys
No,
haven't
we
had a
are
live
trying to
show
do a mini tour next year, according to Katie, but I've a lot of over-promising, a lot of under-delivering.
Yeah.
yet. Yeah, Katie works
I think you
very,
set
very
your
hard.
sights on
She does
Madison Square
everything,
Garden.
everything she says she's going to
Gotta
do.
be lower
So
than that.
if you are not going on tour, it's because Katie doesn't want you there.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to find out why.
SF Sketchfest. She says we're submitting. Also, Amir, can I nail you down in a veil right now? Well, actually, I'll text you. Namaste. That's Dawes, folks. Don't be upset. Don't take that energy into the weekend. Amir.
That was a Headgum original.